They've always watched you, haven't they? They may not say it out loud, but they know. You're chosen, and now all eyes are on you. But why? Chosen ones, if you felt like everyone's watching you lately, whether out of admiration, envy, or even confusion, you're not imagining it. They've realized what you've known all along. You're chosen. In this video, we'll uncover 5 signs that prove all eyes are on you now and what it truly means to be one of the chosen ones. Comment 77 if you felt the shift in how people treat you, and let's get started. The first sign is unsolvable mystery. You've felt it, haven't you? The way people are drawn to you but don't quite know why. They observe you, they ask questions, and they try to fit you into a box, but it never works. There's something about you that defies explanation. It's not just what you do or say, it's who you are. You carry an energy that speaks louder than words, a presence that captivates and unsettles all at once. No matter how hard they try, they can never fully understand you, and that's what makes you unforgettable. This mystery you carry isn't accidental, it's intentional. Psalm 139 verse 14 says, "I will praise thee, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." God designed you with layers, with depth, with intricacies that go beyond what the surface reveals. Your uniqueness is woven into your very being, and it's not meant to be unraveled by just anyone. It's part of what sets you apart as chosen. In a world where so many wear masks and conform to expectations, your authenticity shines like a beacon, exposing pretense and challenging those around you to confront their own identity. You've probably heard it before. There's just something about you. It's a phrase that lingers in the air, spoken with curiosity, admiration, or even envy. People are drawn to your light, but they can't quite pinpoint what makes you different. That's because your essence isn't something that can be defined or replicated. It's a reflection of your connection to God's purpose for your life. While others may be striving to fit in, you were created to stand out. This unsolvable mystery can feel both empowering and isolating. On one hand, it's exhilarating to know that your presence has such a profound impact on others. But on the other hand, it can be lonely when people don't fully understand you. You might find yourself surrounded by curiosity yet feeling unseen, as if no one truly grasps the depth of who you are. But chosen ones, this is part of your journey. Your mystery isn't meant to isolate you. It's meant to protect the treasures God has placed within you. Think about Jesus during his earthly ministry. He was constantly misunderstood. People marveled at his wisdom and miracles, yet they couldn't comprehend his true nature. Even those closest to him struggled to grasp his purpose. In John 7 verse 46, the officers sent to arrest Jesus returned saying, "Never man spake like this man." His words, his presence, his very being. It all carried a divine mystery that couldn't be contained by human understanding. Like Jesus, your mystery is a reflection of your divine connection, a sign that you are walking in alignment with God's plan. This depth you carry often causes others to project their own insecurities onto you. They may admire you but feel intimidated at the same time. They may praise you publicly while secretly envying you. Your presence forces them to confront parts of themselves they'd rather avoid. And while this isn't your intention, it's an inevitable consequence of being chosen. Your authenticity acts like a mirror, reflecting not only your truth but also the cracks in their facade. Have you ever noticed how some people are drawn to you, only to pull away when they realize they can't figure you out? They may start out curious, even friendly, but when they realize you're not easily defined or controlled, their attitude shifts. This can be confusing, even painful, but it's not about you. It's about them. Your mystery forces them to confront their own limitations, their own lack of authenticity. And while some will rise to the challenge, seeking to grow and align with their true selves, others will retreat, unable to handle the light you bring. Your mystery also serves as a filter, drawing the right people closer while keeping others at a distance. Those who are meant to be in your life will appreciate your depth, even if they don't fully understand it. They'll see your uniqueness as a gift, not a threat. But those who are not aligned with your purpose will find your mystery too challenging, too disruptive to their comfort zones. This is a blessing in disguise, chosen ones. It ensures that your circle remains pure, filled with those who value you for who you truly are. This unsolvable mystery isn't just about how others perceive you. It's also about your relationship with yourself and with God. You may not fully understand the depths of who you are, and that's okay. Your journey as a chosen one is a process of discovery, of peeling back the layers of your identity and stepping into the fullness of your purpose. Every experience, every trial, every moment of reflection brings you closer to understanding the masterpiece God has created in you. Chosen ones, your mystery is a gift. It's a reminder that you were never meant to blend in, to be easily understood, or to conform to the world's expectations. Your depth, your authenticity, your divine connection, it's all part of what makes you who you are. And while not everyone will appreciate or understand it, those who are meant to will see it as the treasure it is. If you've ever felt the weight of being an unsolvable mystery, if you've ever sensed that others are captivated yet confused by your presence, know that this is a sign of your calling. Comment mystery below if this resonates with you. And as we move to the next sign, we'll uncover how your calm under pressure sets you apart and leaves others in awe. Stay with me, your journey as a chosen one is just beginning. The second sign is calm under pressure. When the world around you feels like it's unraveling, when chaos strikes without warning, they expect you to fall apart. They expect you to panic, to lose control, to break under the weight of it all. But you don't. Instead, you remain steady, grounded, unshaken. Your calmness is both a mystery and a challenge to them. They can't understand how you navigate storms with such grace, and it leaves them bewildered. They watch closely, hoping to find a crack in your composure, but all they see is an unshakable resilience that they can't match. This calmness isn't just about your personality. It's rooted in something much deeper. Philippians 4 verse 7 reveals the source of your strength. And the peace of God, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. This peace isn't logical, and it doesn't come from external circumstances. It comes from your connection to God, from the knowledge that He is in control even when everything around you feels out of control. That peace acts like a shield, guarding your heart and mind against the fear and chaos that would consume anyone else. You've probably noticed how this calmness changes the atmosphere. When others are panicking, your steadiness becomes an anchor. People instinctively turn to you, drawn to your ability to keep a level head in the midst of turmoil. It's not just that you handle stress well, it's that your presence brings a sense of order and reassurance. But let's not pretend that staying calm is always easy. You've had moments when the pressure felt overwhelming, when the chaos threatened to pull you under. The difference is that you chose to rely on God in those moments. You chose to breathe, to pray, to trust that He would guide you through. And because of that, your calmness became a testimony to His power in your life. It's not that you're immune to stress. It's that you've learned to place your burdens at His feet, knowing that He cares for you. This resilience often leaves others in awe, but it can also stir envy. People who thrive on drama or control don't know what to do with someone who refuses to engage in their chaos. Your calmness becomes a mirror, reflecting their own lack of peace. And while some will admire you for it, others will try to disrupt it. They'll push your boundaries, test your patience, and do everything they can to provoke a reaction. But even then, your calmness holds. It's not just a trait, it's a weapon, a shield of faith that protects you from their attempts to pull you down. Think about Jesus in the storm with His disciples. As the wind howled and the waves crashed, His disciples were consumed by fear, crying out, "Master, carest thou not that we perish?" Mark 4 verse 38. But Jesus, calm and composed, rebuked the storm with 3 simple words: "Peace, be still." His calmness wasn't just a response to the storm, it was a command over it. And in that moment, the disciples saw the power of faith in action. Like Jesus, your calmness carries authority. It doesn't just withstand the storm, it changes it. This ability to remain calm under pressure is one of the reasons why people watch you so closely. They want to understand your secret, to know how you manage to keep going when others would crumble. What they don't realize is that your strength comes from surrender, not to the situation but to God. You've learned that you don't have to have all the answers or control every outcome. You just have to trust the one who does. Your calmness also sets you apart because it shows that you're not defined by your circumstances. While others react to external chaos, your peace comes from within. It's a reflection of your faith, your identity as a chosen one, and your alignment with God's purpose. This doesn't mean you're perfect or that you never feel stress. It means that you've chosen to let your faith lead, even when it's hard. Have you ever noticed how your calmness can shift the dynamics in a room? When tempers flare, when panic takes over, your steady presence can diffuse the tension. People may not always acknowledge it, but they feel it. They sense that there's something different about you, something they can't quite explain. And while they may never say it out loud, they're drawn to that peace, hoping to find some of it for themselves. Your calmness isn't just for you. It's part of your greater purpose. It's a reminder to others that peace is possible, even in the midst of chaos. It's a reflection of God's character, a glimpse of His love and power working through you. And as you continue to walk in this calmness, you inspire others to seek the same peace, to turn to the one who offers it freely. Chosen ones, your calmness under pressure is more than a trait. It's a gift, a testimony, and a weapon in the spiritual battle. If you've ever left others speechless by how you handle stress, comment calm below. And as we move to the next sign, we'll uncover how your focus and refusal to engage in competition set you apart even further. These first two signs show why they're watching you so closely, but the next ones will reveal how your presence is changing the dynamics around you. If this message resonates so far, activate all notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. The third sign is unbothered by competition. You've felt it, haven't you? That subtle shift in energy when someone around you starts seeing you as their rival. The side comments, the unnecessary comparisons, the constant attempts to outshine you. It's as if they've made you their measuring stick. But here's the thing. While they're busy competing with you, you're not even in the race. You're too focused on your own growth, your own goals, and your God-given purpose to care about meaningless competition. And that's what unnerves them the most. You see, chosen ones don't thrive on rivalry. You're not looking over your shoulder, worrying about who's catching up or trying to surpass you. Proverbs 4 verse 25 speaks directly to this mindset. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Your gaze is fixed on the path ahead, not on the distractions around you. This focus doesn't just protect your peace, it amplifies your impact. While others waste energy on comparisons, you're busy evolving, building, and aligning with your purpose. And that makes you both intimidating and admirable. Have you ever noticed how their need to compete reveals itself in the smallest of ways? Maybe it's the coworker who always finds a way to mention their achievements right after you share yours. Or the friend who constantly tries to outdo you, turning every conversation into a subtle contest. Perhaps it's a family member who dismisses your progress while quietly trying to match it. They can't help it. Your growth reminds them of where they've stalled, and instead of focusing on their own journey, they fixate on yours. But here's the truth. Their competition has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. It's rooted in insecurity, in the fear that they're not measuring up. Your refusal to engage only magnifies this. They expect you to react, to retaliate, to get caught up in their games. But when you remain unbothered, it sends a powerful message. You don't need their validation, and you're not interested in their approval. You're running a race with a different goal, and that goal is far greater than any earthly rivalry. Your focus on your path doesn't just unsettle them, it inspires them. Whether they admit it or not, your ability to stay in your lane makes them question their own approach. It forces them to confront the emptiness of their comparisons and consider what it might look like to pursue their own purpose instead of trying to mimic yours. This is part of the ripple effect of being chosen. Your life becomes a mirror, reflecting not only your authenticity but also the areas where others need to grow. But let's be honest, it's not always easy to stay unbothered. There are moments when their attempts to compete can feel draining, even frustrating. You might wonder why they can't just celebrate your success instead of trying to overshadow it, or why they focus on you instead of their own potential. In those moments, it's important to remember who you're really competing with. It's not them, it's the person you were yesterday. Every step forward you take is about becoming more aligned with the person God created you to be, not about proving anything to anyone else. This mindset is what sets you apart. You understand that true success isn't about being better than others. It's about fulfilling your purpose. While they're caught up in comparisons, you're focused on contribution. While they're chasing recognition, you're building something that lasts. And while they're striving to keep up with you, you're simply moving forward, one step at a time, guided by God's hand. Think about Jesus during his ministry. The Pharisees constantly tried to compete with him, challenging his teachings and attempting to discredit him. They couldn't understand his authority, his wisdom, or his unwavering focus on his mission. But Jesus never engaged in their games. He didn't waste time defending himself or proving his worth. Instead, he stayed focused on his purpose, knowing that his work spoke for itself. Like Jesus, your ability to remain unbothered by competition is a reflection of your higher calling. This unbothered nature also protects your energy. By refusing to engage in rivalry, you conserve your strength for what truly matters. You're not distracted by petty contests or sidetracked by others' insecurities. Instead, you pour your energy into growth, creativity, and purpose. This focus not only accelerates your progress, but also deepens your connection to God, as you rely on Him to guide your steps and affirm your path. Chosen ones, your unbothered approach to competition isn't just a trait. It's a testament to your character and your calling. It shows that you understand the bigger picture, that you're not here to compete with others, but to complete the work God has given you. And while others may struggle to understand this, they can't help but respect it. Your focus becomes a beacon, a reminder that there's a better way to live, a way rooted in purpose, peace, and alignment with God's will. If you've ever noticed others trying to compete while you're simply staying in your lane, comment focus below. Your journey isn't about outshining anyone. It's about shining in the way only you can. The fourth sign is your presence exposes pretenses. Have you ever walked into a room and felt the atmosphere shift? Conversations falter, glances are exchanged, and some people suddenly seem uncomfortable. It's not because of anything you said or did. It's because of who you are. Your very presence carries an authenticity that challenges the facades others have carefully built. You don't even need to say a word. Your energy alone speaks volumes, forcing people to confront the parts of themselves they'd rather keep hidden. This ability to expose pretenses isn't something you chose. It's something you carry as a chosen one. Your authenticity is a light, and that light naturally reveals what others try to keep in the shadows. John 8 verse 32 declares, "And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free." Your presence is a reflection of that truth, a truth that disrupts illusions and demands honesty. It's not that you're intentionally trying to call anyone out, but your alignment with who you are and your refusal to wear a mask creates a mirror for those around you. And not everyone is ready to look into that mirror. You've likely noticed how some people react to this energy. They may avoid eye contact, shift uncomfortably, or even act defensive when you're around. It's as if your authenticity makes them feel exposed, and they don't know how to handle it. They might start acting differently, trying to justify themselves or overcompensate in an attempt to hide their insecurities. While this can be confusing, it's also a sign of the power you carry. Your presence alone challenges them to confront truths they've been avoiding, and for some, that's deeply unsettling. Think about Jesus and his interactions with the Pharisees. They prided themselves on their outward displays of righteousness, but Jesus' presence and teachings exposed their hypocrisy. He didn't need to directly accuse them. His truth was enough to reveal their pretenses. In Matthew 23 verse 27, he said, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones, and of all uncleanness." His authenticity made them uncomfortable because it revealed the gap between who they pretended to be and who they really were. Your presence carries that same disruptive honesty. This ability to expose pretenses isn't always easy to carry. While it's a sign of your authenticity and divine alignment, it can also create tension in your relationships. Some people may distance themselves from you, not because they dislike you, but because they can't handle the way your presence makes them feel. Others may lash out, projecting their insecurities onto you in an attempt to deflect from their own discomfort. It's important to remember that their reactions aren't about you. They're about the truths your presence forces them to confront. At the same time, your authenticity draws the right people closer. Those who are ready to grow, to face their own truths, will be inspired by your energy. They'll see your honesty as a gift, a reminder that it's okay to let go of the masks and live in alignment with their true selves. Your presence becomes a catalyst for transformation, not just for you, but for everyone you encounter. It's a ripple effect of truth that starts with you and extends far beyond what you can see. Have you ever had someone tell you that being around you feels different? Maybe they said you have a calming presence or that you make them feel safe. Or perhaps they admitted that your honesty inspires them, even if it makes them uncomfortable. These moments are glimpses of the impact your authenticity has on others. Your presence isn't just about you. It's about the truth you carry and the way it challenges and uplifts those around you. This ability to expose pretenses also serves as a form of protection. By revealing others' true intentions, it helps you discern who belongs in your life and who doesn't. You can sense when someone's words don't match their actions, when their outward appearance hides ulterior motives. This discernment isn't just a skill, it's a gift, one that allows you to navigate relationships with wisdom and clarity. It ensures that your circle remains pure, filled with people who value and align with your authenticity. Your presence also teaches you about yourself. It shows you the power of living in alignment with your truth and the impact that authenticity can have. It reminds you that your worth isn't tied to how others perceive you, but to who God created you to be. And it strengthens your resolve to continue walking in your purpose, even when it challenges or unsettles those around you. Chosen ones, your presence is a force of truth in a world full of pretense. It's a light that reveals, a mirror that reflects, and a catalyst for change. While not everyone will appreciate or understand it, those who are ready will be transformed by it. If you've ever noticed how your presence changes the room, comment truth below. We've seen how your energy and actions set you apart, but the final sign is the most profound. It's the reason they're not just watching you, they're fixated on you. Don't go anywhere. You'll want to hear this. The final sign is purpose-driven aura. There's something about you that commands attention, even when you're not trying. People sense it without being able to articulate it. You carry a presence, an energy that says you're here for something greater, that your life isn't random or aimless. It's divinely guided. It's not just your words or actions. It's the way you move through life with intention and clarity. This purpose-driven aura doesn't just set you apart. It leaves a profound impact on those around you. Jeremiah 29 verse 11 captures the essence of this divine alignment. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, saith the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you an expected end. Your purpose isn't something you stumbled upon. It was intricately designed by God before you even took your first breath. It's woven into the fabric of your being, and it radiates from you in ways that others can't help but notice. Have you ever found people opening up to you unexpectedly, sharing their dreams, fears, or struggles? It's because your purpose-driven aura creates a safe space for authenticity. Your presence invites others to reflect on their own lives, to examine where they're headed and what they're truly living for. But that reflection isn't always comfortable. For some, it's inspiring, a call to action to pursue their own purpose. For others, it's unsettling, forcing them to confront the gap between where they are and where they long to be. Your purpose-driven aura also has a way of shifting the dynamics around you. You've probably noticed how certain people act differently in your presence. Some are drawn to you, eager to learn from your sense of direction and clarity. Others may feel threatened, as if your focus highlights their lack of it. This isn't something you do intentionally. It's simply the power of living in alignment with God's plan for your life. Your life becomes a mirror, reflecting not only the beauty of purpose, but also the emptiness of living without it. This sense of purpose isn't about having everything figured out. You're not immune to doubt or challenges. There have been moments when you've questioned your path, wondered if you're truly on the right track. But even in those moments, there's an unshakable core within you that knows you're meant for more. That knowing is what keeps you moving forward, even when the way ahead feels uncertain. It's what gives you the resilience to rise after every setback, to keep going when others might give up. Consider the life of Joseph, sold into slavery by his brothers, falsely accused, and imprisoned. He had every reason to believe his life was over. But Joseph carried a purpose-driven aura, one that couldn't be dimmed by his circumstances. Even in the darkest moments, his faith and sense of destiny shone through. Genesis 50 verse 20 captures his perspective. But as for you, ye thought evil against me. But God meant it unto good, to bring to pass, as it is this day, to save much people alive. Joseph's journey wasn't easy, but every step prepared him for the purpose God had placed on his life. Your own journey may feel similar at times. There have been seasons of pain, loss, and uncertainty. But through it all, God has been shaping you, refining you, and aligning you with your purpose. Every challenge has been a step toward the calling He's placed on your life. And now, that purpose radiates from you, influencing everyone you encounter. But carrying a purpose-driven aura isn't without its challenges. Not everyone will understand or appreciate it. Some will project their insecurities onto you, mistaking your clarity for arrogance or your focus for ambition. Others may try to pull you off course, whether out of envy or a desire to control you. It's in these moments that your connection to God becomes your anchor. Proverbs 3 verses 5 to 6 reminds us, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths." Your purpose isn't something you have to defend or explain. It's something you simply have to live. Living with purpose also brings profound joy and fulfillment. It's not about achieving external success or meeting worldly standards. It's about knowing that your life has meaning, that every action you take is part of a larger story written by the Creator Himself. This joy is contagious, inspiring those around you to seek the same alignment in their own lives. Your purpose-driven aura isn't just about what you do. It's about who you are. It's the way you show up in the world, the way you carry yourself with intention and grace. It's the way you inspire others to believe that their lives, too, can have meaning. It's a reminder that every step, no matter how small, can be a step towards something greater. Chosen ones, your purpose is undeniable, and so is the energy you carry because of it. If you've ever noticed how your presence inspires or challenges others, comment purpose below. But here's the test. How will you use this purpose? What's next for you as all eyes remain on you? We'll explore that in the next video linked in the description below. Chosen ones, I'll never forget the first time I realized people were watching me differently. It wasn't the kind of attention I was used to. It wasn't admiration or even curiosity. It felt heavier, like scrutiny. It was as if every move I made was being analyzed. Every word I spoke was being dissected. At first, it felt overwhelming. I remember thinking, why me? Why are they so focused on what I'm doing? It felt like I had to prove myself, justify the attention, or even shrink to avoid the discomfort. But as I brought these feelings to God, He began to open my eyes to something greater. The focus wasn't about me at all. It was about Him working through me. People weren't just watching out of curiosity. They were sensing something they couldn't fully explain. They weren't reacting to my actions or words as much as they were responding to His light shining through me. That light, chosen ones, is undeniable. It disrupts, inspires, and draws attention in ways that aren't always comfortable but are always purposeful. Over time, I began to understand that being chosen isn't about perfection. It's about reflection. The more I leaned into my purpose, the more their reactions started to make sense. It wasn't about me being extraordinary. It was about God's extraordinary power working in my life. They weren't just seeing me. They were seeing His love, His truth, His light. And that light will always attract both admiration and opposition. Looking back, I realized that every uncomfortable moment was a reminder of the calling on my life. The attention wasn't there to distract or discourage me. It was there to refine me, to teach me how to walk confidently in who God created me to be. And chosen ones, if you've ever felt the weight of being watched, know this: it's not about you, it's about Him. Let their attention remind you of the light you carry and the purpose you were created to fulfill. Chosen ones, they know who you are, and that's why all eyes are on you. Embrace it. Let their curiosity, envy, and admiration fuel your purpose, not your doubt. If this message resonated, comment, "I'm chosen," subscribe, and share this video. Your light is too bright to ignore. Let it shine,